Not too late to stop. Not too late to stop. Not too late to stop. To stop, to stop. Not too late to stop. To stop, to stop. Not too late to stop.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Aaron Dishner from The Better Traders, and you're watching a live stream here on YouTube. Let me know how the volume is for everything. I am also listening to the music, and as much as I like the music and I own the rights to it, so I can play it as much as I want to, make sure to see. It's a little bit loud. That's probably better. I mean, it's better for me. But let me know in the chat if the music is annoying or something like that. There's a lot that I want to share, and a lot that I can't share because I've already shared it in the Better Traders Club. I want to just give you a preview though of what I'm going to be sharing with you today, because this is basically every single time that I post a market update, I pin the post in the club, and then I basically just use ChatGPT to summarize. Sorry, but it's a lot faster. Awesome, good, the volume's good, that's great. So just a couple of things. Actually, this is really important and good to share. I don't mind actually reading this because this is good stuff. I'm not like my own horn, but it's good to get a reminder that the last couple of weeks have been rough. It's been rough to be trading crypto. There have been some ups and downs in the markets, but it has no doubt been stressful and not so fun. Don't forget the pain that you've experienced over the last couple of weeks. If you've been liquidated, if you've bought in too early and you've ran out of funds too early, you DCA'd into position too early and just kind of sitting on your hands, take the time to write down what you've learned about this, because to be honest, this is not going to be the only pullback we've ever had. You've heard me say it before, in bull markets and in bear markets, when the price of Bitcoin is moving up, no one's thinking about the pullbacks. They're always going to happen. No one is thinking about these moments when everything is going up and to the right. So it's important to write down this stuff so that way when the market does have a correction, we do move to the upside, you're not going to be just back into full-on greed mode and never taking profit on the way up. Excuse me. These are the periods that you grow as a trader, that you actually become a better trader. This is 100% true. It's times like these that you prove your worth as a trader, because a lot of people just give up. What happens actually is a lot of traders turn into investors. You bought too much of a token and now you've used up all of your liquidity. You've used up all your funds. You can't buy anymore. So now you're just an investor long term. That's not a good place to be. Now, there's a difference between trading like with the idea that you're going to buy more as it goes lower and stuff like that, and just like aping into something because everyone's talking about it. So you can do both types of trading, but one is trading and one is investing. If you don't sell, it's really investing. So I want to talk about these 5 things today. Bitcoin did close below support, which isn't a good sign. I do think we're going down to 60K, but maybe not immediately. Ethereum is showing lots of really strong signs of strength. Plus, there's actually a news article that was posted just half an hour ago about Ethereum, which we'll talk about. There are bearish signals in the market. However, dominance is shifting towards Ethereum, which will shift to others. And the ETH-BTC ratio, no one likes to talk about this anymore, but I still think it's valid, and I actually think that we're going to see an uptick for Ethereum, which is going to lead alts to be super happy, and we're going to get a small and quick, emphasis on the word quick, recovery. A short, brief relief rally, okay? Stable coin dominance and market recovery, yeah, that's what I just said. Great. So before I jump into anything else, let's go ahead and just jump over to TradingView. That will be the best thing to do, okay? Good. Please yell at me in the comments, even though I can't actually see them, because I'm using this monitor up here, but I can't see all the stuff. But hopefully I'm pressing the right buttons at the right time. 2 weeks ago when I did a live stream, I made some mistakes, so sorry about that. Bitcoin did break support. This line of support right here, we've been watching this in the Better Traders Club for a while. It's not a good sign. Sorry. Ugh. Man, sorry about that. I had a protein shake this morning. It was very milky, so note to self, don't do that again before a live stream. Sound like Gollum or something. Gollum. We had a test right here. There's nothing wrong with a test, because a test means that we're not actually going to bounce off that line. Let me make this a little bit bigger. But as soon as we pierce it like that, oh, I can't actually circle that. Let me do it like this. As soon as we pierce it like that right there, that's a bad sign. And typically that means that when we see a pierce, that we're going to get a break soon. Usually not the next day, but that's a pretty strong sign of bearish continuation. Now, we had a very clear puncture and the price is below this trend line. Again, it's not like a super great look. Things don't look super duper happy right now for Bitcoin. And the reason why I think we're headed down here to 61K is because we have a pretty significant Fibonacci extension level I've talked about in the Better Traders Club and the market updates, but we can see how the price has positively reacted to the 1.618 level right here many times. Initially back over here, we saw a struggle and a bounce. We saw a bounce respecting it here, bounce respecting it here. The close and the open basically on that line, but we finally broke it and weakened it back here in, or rather May 1st, where we dropped down to 57K. Then we shot all the way back up. Where did we bounce? Again, we bounced right there. So this is why I think that we're kind of pretty much, well, I mean, this, if we don't head to it, this will be a strong area to bounce. Now, the other reason why I think it's going to be a strong area to bounce is that it's also almost lining up with the TBO slow line right here. So the TBO slow line is the last line, the bottommost line here when the cloud is bullish. So this line is basically doing two things. One, and I've shared this so many times on socials and stuff, but I don't mind sharing it again because I think it's important for all of you that are new. Let me hide the fibs. When we look at the angle of the TBO slow line, this gives us confidence to DCA or to understand where we are in regards to the strength of the trend. And the current trend of Bitcoin is up. It's up. So because it's up, I have confidence to DCA into positions. Now, Bitcoin has held up really well. And the reason why I think that we will go down to this level of 61K, and well, maybe not even that low, but I think that we could see BTC drop down another 5% or so to 61K just because we have this line here. And I've seen this happen so many times. Could we go below? Yeah. And if we do, honestly, that will be really bad for Bitcoin. It'll be really bad for the general market. So don't count on that happening. It's not a good thing. I want to show you this chart. So Bitcoin dominance is a chart that Ben Cohen loves to talk about for a really good reason, because he's trying to make the most money trading up his Bitcoin by using it to buy alts. Now, if you've used your Bitcoin to buy alts, which I have, full disclosure, like I've been placing trades and I've been buying, and I actually placed the majority of my DCA orders, basically buying more at a lower price yesterday. And the reason why I did that yesterday is because of this chart. I want you to see, and I want you to focus on a couple of things. So I'm going to make this really plain and easy to see. Let me get rid of the, I guess, no, it's okay. We'll just leave that there. So this rectangle right here is highlighting a couple things. We have our top here at 57%, and then we have another line here. Now I know we got this one right there. Yes, this is true. I'm not worried about that. I'm looking for the next high because this is how I use resistance lines. This is how I've always used it. So a couple of things that we want to note. One, right here on the 17th of June, we saw the daily close there, which actually respects this line. Even though we pierced it right here, and a pierce is a sign of weakness, we've actually didn't close above this white line of resistance. And today we're already falling. Now, this is not a major move. This is nothing to like freak out about, but it's been a while since we've seen Bitcoin dominance go to the downside. What we typically have are pivots, and I'm not a real big pivot trader, but some of you might be. But essentially a pivot, and let me just change the color so this is a lot easier to see. Let me use like this blue color. Not easier to see. But we have a pivot high, we have a pivot low. We have a pivot high, we have a pivot low. We have a pivot high, and now we're looking for another pivot low. So I believe that we've just hit the pivot right up here, and that's why Bitcoin dominance is falling down. If we bring in a couple of other indicators, you're really going to like this. Now, I've been using on balance, sorry, that was a little bit weird. I've been using on balance volume a lot more lately, and I really like it. The reason why is because it works really well in tandem with trend trading. And on balance volume, the blue line is now crossing down the white line, which is a moving average. And I forget what the smooth moving average length is, but I'll do it another time. When we see this cross down, it's bearish because on balance volume is dropping compared to the moving average, which is really good for us. We want to see it drop because that means that the trend is most likely going to be going down. Again, this is really good. Bitcoin dominance falling is great for alts. The other thing that I've been watching a lot is RSI. RSI falling. We have our high here on April 13th. We have another high here. We clearly have a pierce and a close above, but it wasn't able to hold. So I'm holding to this. I'm sticking to this. We're not into overbought territory anymore. I'm expecting that we're going to see this drop. We're going to probably see a struggle as it falls lower. And then we'll have to see what happens when it comes back down here into oversold territory. I think I said oversold, but I meant overbought territory. But for now, this is looking good. This is looking good. This is looking good. And because we're seeing a pullback on Bitcoin dominance, I believe we're going to be seeing a shift toward other things. I mean, look at the market so far. If I look at the total market, well, actually, this is more like the top 70 tokens or so that I keep track of. Bitcoin is still hovering at 65K, but you can see so much more green compared to yesterday. Yesterday's daily close, which is honestly just an hour and 42 minutes ago as of the start of this live stream. A lot of this was red, right? And it's been looking really bad. It's been looking really negative. But looking at things now, it's changed. Why? Because Bitcoin dominance is falling, because Bitcoin isn't necessarily dumping super hard right now. And we're getting really close to that capitulation bounce, in my opinion, for BTC. Again, I'm looking at this area of 61K. It makes the most sense. Let me pull this up just to see. Good. Okay. If you got questions or you have chart requests as I'm sharing all this stuff, I'm happy to look at some charts. I have my own that I really want to share with you. But if you got something you'd like me to share, or rather to look at or to analyze, go ahead and just drop it in the chat. And if you haven't already liked the live stream and you haven't subscribed already, what you waiting for? Hit the like button, subscribe. You can share this with other people. I would love to see more people join the chat. And how about this? I need to get at least 10 more likes on this before I actually start taking requests for charts. You can do it. There's a lot of you watching. Go ahead and do it. Drop a comment, like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. Then I'll look at some charts and you're going to like what you're going to see. This is good stuff. Okay, here we go. So we've talked about Bitcoin. We've talked about Bitcoin dominance. Now, here's the fun part. Ethereum is actually looking good. Now, I want you to see something between the chart of Bitcoin and Ethereum. I want you to pay really close attention to this, and we're going to focus specifically on the TBO indicator. And I'm actually going to remove everything except for the one thing I want you to pay attention to, because this one thing is critical in understanding how the TBO works and how to interpret it. Now, these blue dots right here, sorry, I just said that and now we have all this stuff. These blue dots right here, these are called TBO close longs. Sometimes I make a mistake when I post, I write close short, just because I'm used to talking about the opposite of these, which are the orange dots, which I'm not going to see because I've hidden them. These signals tell us two things. One, the long trend could be changing soon. So consider taking profits here. Okay. So if we understand this part about, let me get rid of that extra line. That's really annoying, isn't it? There we go. So the TBO close long is telling us, and it's the same thing with the close short, but the close long is about the open long position that we're currently in, the bullish position that we're in. If we're in a bullish position, we haven't taken profits yet. This is letting us know that the bullish trend could be changing soon. meaning it's going to be reversing to be bearish. Therefore, you will want to consider taking profits if you haven't already. Now, when this happens, I never ever panic. At the candle close here, when we get confirmation for this, let me move this over here. I would not sell here. What I like to do actually is I like to sell on the bounce and the return to the TBO fast line right there. That's the smartest play because you don't want to sell down here. You want to get a little bit more. And typically after a TBO close long happens or close short, there is a return to the mean. There's a return to the TBO fast line, which is exactly what we saw right here. It actually surpassed it, went up higher. Now, when we keep that in mind and we look at the chart for Ethereum, we have 3 of these bad Larrys right there. We got one right there, another right there, and another right there. Again, same concept applies. When we get these, it's letting us know that the existing bullish, or rather the open long that we're currently in right now, let me turn that on. This is a lot higher because of that pump, because of the spot ETF approval. And this is what happened on May 20th, right? So we have our open long confirmed here. And it's letting us know if you haven't taken profits yet, consider taking some profits. But it doesn't make sense to sell down here. We wait for the bounce to the fast line. So just a little bit of a tip on how to use the TBO and not to panic when we get one of these guys. Now, we have 3 of these. Bitcoin only had 2. Typically when we see these, what's going to happen is we're going to get a lot of chop and we're going to eventually see some sort of move to the downside. That's exactly what happened back over here in March and in April, right? If we look at lots of other charts, we can see similar things. I've been posting more of these charts recently on X, Instagram, YouTube, and on Discord for the club members. So you should be well aware of how this works and how this operates for now. But here's the thing. Just because we get these does not mean game over, I'm selling, I'm liquidating all of my cryptocurrency assets, I'm done. I always pay attention to the lowest and the slowest line, the TBO slow line. The reason why is because as long as this thing is angling up, I have confidence to DCA into my positions, even if the price gets disastrously low and goes below the cloud. I remember this right here, and I wish I bought more Ethereum. I did not. I was too nervous because this was looking really bearish. But we can see, and this is basically what I'm predicting for BTC. The price is chopping, it's going lower and lower and lower, and we could see it dip all the way down to the slow line. Again, just to refresh your memory, we haven't seen that happen yet to test the slow line, but we very well could see this happen, okay? We could see it drop down here, and most likely we will, down to 61K. But I don't think it's going to go below that. I think we're going to see a bounce off of that range. So Ethereum is actually doing pretty well right now. And the main reason for that, and I need to switch my screens, is over here. I just saw a tweet from Consensus saying that Ethereum has survived the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, basically in the US. And they announced that today we're happy to announce a major win for Ethereum developers, technology providers, and industry participants. The enforcement division of the SEC has notified us that it is closing its investigation into Ethereum 2.0. This means that the SEC will not bring charges alleging that sales of Ethereum are securities transactions. This is actually super bullish for Ethereum. This is a really good sign. And we're seeing that reaction in the price. Now, it's not like up and to the right, but when we compare the price action of Ethereum to Bitcoin, it's actually holding up. So I know we have these basically early warning bearish signals right here that could be bad for the price of Ethereum. We do have this underlying thing that looks pretty good, that we have some good news happening. Now, if things were to reverse quickly for Ethereum, the main area that we need to look at for taking some profits, because it's always smart to take profits on the bounce, is just below these red dotted lines, which is TBO resistance at 38K or so. From the current price, that's a move of about 10%. So I would never ever sell right at that those dotted lines. I always sell just a little bit below. Sometimes you wick into it, sometimes you don't get close to it. So that's one reason why I'm not so bearish right now, and I'm actually expecting alts to have a mini recovery today. Now, I want to show you a couple of other things, specifically with the FBTC ratio. Okay, this is really, really, really good. Now, admittedly, FBTC has been super duper boring. It's been brutal. It's been really exhausting to watch this chart. It's been exhausting to hold Ethereum, but this is why I think things are changing for FBTC. And I'm actually going to go to the weekly time frame. I want to show you a couple of things. Actually, we'll do that one last. Okay, just in regards to price action, I want to show you this. All right, and I literally just shared this in the Better Traders Club, so you guys are getting some alpha from something I shared just a little bit ago for our club members. But I want you to see this because this should help you to change your perspective on what's happening with all of your alts and everything that you may have used Bitcoin to buy alts with, like your BTC pairs, like I have, like I told you before. This is what's given me confidence to actually buy more of those alts with my Bitcoin, expecting a quick bounce. And I'm going to talk about exit strategy as well after this, okay? And I need to write that down because if I don't, I might forget. There, okay, I will remember now. Just gonna put that right there. Good. So what I want to show you is that this is what I call a resistance fan. This is actually not textbook, as far as I know, textbook technical analysis, but you know what, it sure works well for me, and I've used it so many times. It's a really interesting way to use support and resistance levels as almost like a spider fan where you're just drawing multiple levels of resistance. Incrementally, the angles are going sharper and sharper down, or more and more vertical. Okay, so I want to show you this level here. Now, I could have just kept moving this out, moving it out, moving it out, moving it out. But you know what? When we leave it here, this is really interesting because we see a couple of things. We see an initial test and a pierce, and we just talked about that with Bitcoin. When we see a pierce of a line of support or resistance, it's a very, very good sign, depending on which side you are. But if we're looking at resistance, so it's good, it's bullish, because this means that this line is being weakened. As we continue, it took another 217 days for it to actually pierce it again, it gets rejected. Pierce and a break, and it goes back in, another pierce. So we're getting more and more tests, more and more pierces. We have another one here, and this is thanks again to the Ethereum spot ETF approval. And then the weeks that followed were pretty bad, but you'll notice right here, the price actually did not close below the white line of support. This is a really, really, really good sign. I know things don't look super duper bullish right now. They don't. But when I see this, this is giving me confidence that we could be seeing a nice reversal for the FBTC ratio. Now, when we use the TBO, we talked about these blue lines, these blue dots. And these blue dots are TBO close longs. They let us know that in the current open long position right here from June 2020, if you still have a position open and you get one of these guys, you might want to take some profits. You might want to take some profits. You might want to take some profits. Okay, that's all it's doing. And then we finally get a confirmation that the trend is bearish right here. And it flips back up, and we go all choppy, chop, 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 chop. And now we have our open short right there. And our open short is letting us know that we're in a short position, things are bearish. And as we go lower, we're going to get corrections, which will give us the opposite of the TBO close long, which is the close short, which is my favorite because I like buying low and selling high, like most of you do. So what this is showing us is that this is an early reverse signal, an early warning alert that we could be seeing a bullish reversal. Now, when we see just one of these, it's not enough. But when we see 1, 2, 3, 4 of these, and they're all happening around TBO support, that dotted green line right there, it's giving me, again, more confidence. Now, this is the weekly time frame. This is a lot of boring sideways price action since January. It really hasn't done much. But I want to show you something again in regards to the TBO. And we're going to do this first on the daily time frame. We're going to go further back over here. Actually, no, we can go back to the weekly. It's okay. When we see the price below the TBO cloud, and right here, this area is called well, it's what I call the cloud. Okay, when the price is below the cloud, this is when we have a strong bearish trend. We see that the slow line, which is now on top, is angling down. It's confirming that strong bearish trend. But when we get punctures, just like support and resistance on the fast line into the cloud, this is showing a sign of weakness. Even though FBTC falls another 52%, these are still signs of weakness, which means that eventually the trend is going to change, which it always does. But when we see this happen right here, when we see the price shoot up into the cloud and test to the top of the cloud where the slow line is, this is a really, really, really good sign that we should be seeing a reversal. Now, this is the weekly, so it means it's going to take a long time, but eventually look what happens. The price is actually using the TBO, the slow line and the medium slow line right there, but it's basically using the cloud as support and resistance levels. Isn't that insane? That is literally crazy. It's playing it perfectly. And then pop. When we get this pop above the cloud, this is when things really start to take off. Even though FBTC initially popped up 54%, then it dropped back down, went up a little bit more, dropped back down. That was it. Now, again, this is weekly, so it takes a long time for things to actually come to fruition. So if we think about the total market, the movement that's happening right here, we have our down, we got our up, we have our down, and now we're getting all these signs right here of a bullish reversal, letting us know that if you're in an open short, you might want to consider taking profits out of that short or looking for entries to go long. Admittedly, it would have been better to go here to buy here on support, but I'm thinking more of FBTC as an indicator for alts, hence the title of this video. So because I'm seeing lots of these closed shorts right here, this is giving me confidence, especially with the recent pullback for BTC, to dollar cost average more into my BTC paired positions, my paired trades. So I have put more in, and now that the price has tested, remember the whole thing here, right? Everything is connected, everything is correlated. We're talking about pierces and going inside the cloud. Here's a pierce inside the cloud. We have another pierce inside the cloud right there. We have a pierce inside the cloud, but we haven't dropped below yet. Notice the difference? This is what's giving me, again, more confidence to look at alts way more seriously. Now, we've had some great trading for alts. We've had some incredible rallies for meme coins, charts moving up 10x, 50x. It's been crazy. We've only just gotten started. I do not believe that the bear market is here and that the bull rally is done at all. We're just at a checkpoint in the market. There was a great thread of posts on X, on Twitter, that I saw yesterday that I shared with Better Traders Club members that highlights all of these influencers, all these big accounts, whining, complaining, crying, showing red, all this stuff, super dramatic, and everyone is saying that the market is done. When we see this kind of fear and panic and total, like, everyone's just given up, that is a bullish sign of recovery. I know it doesn't make sense, but you have to think of the crowd mentality. When everyone was bullish, that was the time to be taking profits on the way up, right? I was. Were you? You should have been, because I've been telling you how to do this stuff for a long time. When the price is going down, it's tempting to start DCAing early. Some of my positions I started way too early. I bought at support, it kept falling. That's okay. That's why I don't put everything in at the first drop. I use DCA. I think, okay, if it falls lower, where do I want to buy? And if it falls lower, where am I going to buy? I'm never ever going to go all into any one position. This is why I'm a trader and why I'm still thriving as a trader, because of DCA principles that I teach in our courses at the Better Traders and I teach here on YouTube. All this stuff is legit and I use it all the time. So with that said, this is why I believe that we are going to see a change in the trend for alts. It's not going to happen like all of a sudden right now, but it will happen. First slowly, then suddenly, then it's going to be whoosh. And this is the first sign that things are looking really good, because this is the first time that the price of FBTC has stayed inside the TBO cloud and not fallen below. This is a sign of bullish recovery. It could still take another 4 to 8 weeks for this to really shoot above, but that's not making me depressed. I'm actually looking at this aggressively DCAing my positions. And now let's talk about this exit strategy for BTC pairs. Now, this is something that I want to share with you, but I need to make sure. Where's my streaming service? Good. Okay, good. So I'm glad you guys are liking the stream. Where's my, oh gosh, I hate when this happens. Okay, good. Okay, good. Oh no, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna talk about exit strategy right here. And it's gonna be really, really helpful, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see the likes up. So I'll take a sip of water right here as I refresh. Good, okay, good. I'm waiting. Closer. There are people watching that haven't hit the like button yet. I'm waiting. Closer. Waiting. I'm still waiting. You're gonna like this. This is really gonna help. Yep, a little bit more. A little bit more. There we go. Good. Thank you very much for participating. So, here's the deal. When you DCA, the whole concept of DCA is the same way as my signals work, the same way as the TBD signals work in the courses that I teach, the free ones that you can subscribe to on Alt Trading and 3 Commas at Pinex. This is the same way that I trade. Now, when you DCA into a position, oops, wrong button. Don't want to go here. When you DCA into a position, let's say that I bought some here. I am not putting everything in right here. I'm going to buy a little bit more as the price falls at predetermined levels. Now, when this happens, let me change the color for this. This is now going to be my red one. So this is my DCA order. When this happens, if you use martingale strategy, and martingale strategy is beautiful. It is a gift. Honestly, it is. We're just going to make this really easy by using round numbers. So we have one lot here for whatever it is at BTC. Price goes down, and we're going to buy twice as much as it drops. Now, here's the trick. What you're going to do is that on the relief bounce, which is what I expect we're going to see. I'm not lying in the title up there. I really believe that we're going to see a relief rally. It'll be really quick and brief, but there are some advantageous ways to take profit. And this is the first one, is I'm going to be taking profit right here. I'm not going to be waiting to take profit way up here. This isn't the time to be doing that. If you want to do that, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to sell 50% just below your original base order. Okay? This is the best thing that you can do so that way you still have gas for your trading tank. Okay? Here's why. If you can sell, if you can reduce the risk, or rather de-risk yourself by selling half just below your initial order entry, you've already DCA'd, you've used funds. So you're already stretching yourself a little bit thin. By selling half on the bounce, you're in profit for one. It's going to be a little bit of profit, not a lot of profit, but a little bit. But by de-risking yourself, that means that if the chart continues to do a little bit of a snake game thing, and it plays pong with your emotions and the chart, then you've de-risked, you've sold half, so that way when the price goes back down, do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again. And what happens with this is really cool. What happens with this is that your initial base order price gets averaged down over and over and over. So that way, essentially, you are averaged down to this DCA level. Now, charts aren't perfect. You're not going to bounce at support every single time, but it's going to happen. You'll be surprised at how much this happens. And you can keep dropping and averaging down your buy price so that when you do this again, you sell 50% on the next bounce. Let's say that we get one of these events, okay? So we're going to get one of these events. Let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this. So let's say that you DCA'd into Ethereum FBTC and you bought right here, which isn't a bad spot at all. So let's change this color to yellow. And then we are going to buy more as the price falls. Here we go. And this is our DCA order. We're going to make this red. So when the price bounces, we're selling half on the bounce. just below our initial order. By doing this, we are making a profit because, to be honest, our average entry price is going to be somewhere in around this range. I'm going to change this color to white. It's just how DCA works. It's not perfectly in the middle. It's going to be a little bit above. So when we finally get a bounce, we're actually going to be taking profit, securing profit for one, de-risking. And here's the second part of the strategy. The second part of the strategy is that we just let the rest of the profits ride. By de-risking and taking out some, we're prepared for a possible pullback. But in the event that we don't see that pullback and the price keeps going, guess what? We can enjoy the ride. Risk-free. A lot of you have been trading the bull market the wrong way. You've been enjoying the ride, but you haven't been taking profits on the way up. Every single pullback, all of a sudden you have this huge stone in your stomach, this rock in your stomach, and this mental block where you're like, oh no, or I should have sold. This is awful. Like, oh no, it's going back down. Oh, it's going back up. Like, you don't want something like that. It's not good for your mentality. It's not good for your body. It's not good for your stress levels. I want you to burn this into your mind. Take profit on the first bounce, half, de-risk, so that way you're in profit. So if the price keeps going up, you've secured 50% in case more drops happen, more pullbacks, but that other 50% can continue moving up and up and up. I've done this so many times. In the long term, it's frustrating and grueling until you learn mental discipline and trading psychology, so that way you just go, nope, they're just numbers. It doesn't affect me anymore. So this is the key to becoming a better trader. This is the key to actually beating the market. Now, I hope that this made sense to all of you. And for some, it's not. And you might have to rewatch this several times, and that's totally fine. I want to help you all with this. You don't have to buy a course to get this information. You don't have to like pay for anything to get this. I wanted just to share this with all of you that are on the live stream because I want you to prosper. I want you to thrive in the market. And I believe that you can become a better trader. And this is one of the keys that's helped me to become a better trader. So let's look at the market and let's figure out what charts we should be paying attention to and where we should be fixated on right now. Now, there are lots of coins that are recovering way faster than Bitcoin. This is normal. Cryptocurrencies will always overreact to a multiple factor to whatever Bitcoin's doing. So if Bitcoin's, after being super oversold, everything, like when Bitcoin's moving up like 0.5%, look, so far today, Bitcoin's just at 0.03%. And then we have coins like what? Render's up 5% already today. And this is just like the top 70, excuse me. Brett's up 7% so far. Why does this happen? Because things get completely out of whack. Things get too happy and too scared whenever Bitcoin does anything. The memes are true. Okay. Now, what I want to show you here is something I've talked about many times before with the TBO. And you're really going to like this because this is something simple that anyone can do. So I've talked about this a lot back in here in February, March, and April about the TBO springboard bounce. Essentially, you could do this with other moving averages, but I use the TBO all the time for many reasons. And I think this works best with the TBO, but you could use it with other MAs. It's fine. The whole concept though, and the reason why I love using this with the TBO is that it just it respects it every time. It's the craziest thing. So when we see the price wick, which I consider a bounce into the fast line, like right here on June 3rd, this is a TBO springboard bounce. This is not only a re-entry possibility for Brett, it's a new entry possibility. Now, this will work way better with a bot. For instance, you would use 3 commas or alt trading, and that whenever the price, you would set up an alert so that whenever Brett crosses the TBO fast line once per bar, then you send the message to start a new bot deal or position. 3 commas calls them deals, alt trading calls them positions. So you would send a webhook to alt trading or 3 commas, and it's just automated. So you actually don't have to watch the chart. You just use an alert on TradingView, and when this condition is true, boom, you're in the trade. So this is a lot easier to do in extremely bullish conditions. It's harder to have the guts to do this when things are bearish, but we can see the TBO springboard bounce is still working right here. This is not technically a bounce because we didn't actually pierce the fast line, but it still has a really good bounce. I forgot to measure that. This bounce was massive. I don't think I could have the stomach to hold for that much, but it worked well. We have a kind of bounce right here, although it didn't touch, but it still had a good bounce. These ones right here, this is where things are like, basically this could be the last good bounce that we'll see. So I want to help you understand that the first bounce is always going to be the strongest. The next one, not so much. The next, what is it? The sequential or the consecutive? No, the next ones to follow usually won't be as big, but we got a clear pierce of the TBO fast line. And so far, Brett has actually gone up almost 10%. When I posted this just an hour or so ago on Discord, X, Instagram, Brett was only up, I think, like 3%. So it's actually grown a lot more since then. This is a TBO springboard bounce. We're going to see a lot of these, but only for bullish conditions. Only for bullish conditions. We can use this for shorting, but we would have to invert this chart. It would have to be a short position. So we're going lower and lower. And in the same way, looking at it this way, right? If things were bullish, if things were bearish, is what I meant to say, we wouldn't be looking for this to be like a super aggressive entry. No, let me say it the other way. Let me just look at it as it is, okay? We have a bearish trend right here. We have a bottom. We have a test. We have another test right here. I would want to get in right here so I could ride this up higher. But unfortunately, we're inverting it. So Brett is bouncing right now. So if you're playing these TBO springboard bounces, the main thing you need to keep in mind is you need to take profit quickly, de-risk. I literally just shared that with you. De-risk. Take out half, let the other half ride. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what? If the price goes down lower, you can DCA. You just do it over and over and over again. Okay? Okay. Oh, that's why. Okay. All right. The other two charts I want to share with you, and I did say I'm happy to look at. Okay. Ah, good. Okay. Sorry, I'm just looking at the chat real quick and catching up. Yeah. I hear you, 1984. I'll make it sound too easy. It's not. This is why I tell you in all the videos and the courses, keep a good chunk of your funds in Bitcoin and in USDT, so that way you're prepared to buy the dip. It takes a lot of patience and time, but it's completely possible. It's just a process of understanding how it works and how to get more confident in it, okay? Beer and ice doesn't work, but iceberg on beer works. I don't know. I don't know what that is, but beer, yeah, we can look at the chart for beer if that's what someone is asking. I don't really know what that means. Yeah. Okay, so let me continue on. I want to share the chart of XRP with you. Now, before all of you freak out at me, the main reason why I'm sharing this with you is because Larry Fink after the Ethereum spot ETF was approved, he went on some Squawk Box show, some sort of finance show, and he's being interviewed and asked about this because BlackRock, of course, has IBIT. That's their stock ticker for the Bitcoin spot ETF. So they've been accumulating Bitcoin not every single day, but not selling at all, not at all. So they're looking at, or rather he was saying that now that the Bitcoin spot ETF has been approved and the Ethereum one has, now it's just a matter of time till the floodgates open. So that way there's going to be, he even said a Litecoin spot ETF. That one maybe. I don't really pay attention to Litecoin anymore. Other than if it's pumping, that's like, oh, okay, watch out. But he did say XRP. The XRP token could have one of those as well, a spot ETF. Now, admittedly, XRP has been really bearish for quite a while. You don't even need the TBO to see that it's been bearish for quite a while. However, it is at local support. If we go to the weekly time frame, it would be so much better to get it down here at 30 cents, but that time is gone. And even if it falls down lower, I would just buy more. But to me, I'm looking at this chart and I'm getting this sensation, this feeling that XRP is actually going to make a move. I don't have anything else other than just an intuition, okay? Not really the best trading decision ever, just go off of an intuition, but it's holding support. It's actually doing extremely well given the fact that Bitcoin has been fairly bearish and everything else has been dumping, yet XRP has just been a stable coin pretty much. So for this reason, and because of Larry Fink's comment about XRP being a spot ETF, and because the United States is starting to relax their grip on crypto, I actually think that XRP has a chance. Now, if XRP were to get all of a sudden super duper bullish, what would I do? I'm going to be selling half just under TBO resistance around here at 69 cents, under 70, which is a good area to sell. And from the current price up there, it's what, 39%? That's good. That's a good trade. Do I think that XRP is going to shoot up to the stratosphere and go all the way up to $10? No, I really don't. This cycle, I think that XRP could pull like a 2x and go all the way up to like $1.50, but it's been heavily suppressed. I mean, this is 2018's market where we saw alt season and XRP rocketed up in 4 weeks, up 1,400%. In the previous bull market, where's our March? There we go. There's our COVID crash to the top, 1,300%. So if we keep that in mind, our low to our 1,000x or whatever, I mean, it's up here. I just have a hard time seeing it going up past $3. I think it's more reasonable to look for this. Now, I mean, if they're out of the clear, they've actually finished all their legal troubles and nothing's holding them back, yeah, XRP to the moon, sure, whatever. So that's why I'm actually buying some here. I'm just getting some rumblings from what I'm following on Twitter and news articles and things like that. That's the only thing. Now, the last one I want to share with you is Uniswap. Uniswap's been really great. Look at that. Wait, what's happening? Oh, this is the weekly time frame. So Uniswap's been fantastic. We actually have, and I'm kind of showing you a trade setup here. I didn't really think about that in advance, but I post trade setups in the Better Traders Club, and this trade setup is actually doing really well. That entry is ridiculous. It literally wicked right into it before I shared it, which is crazy. We do have a line of resistance right here, so there's a chance that it could still test resistance and fall down lower, and we would get our DCA order filled. Yes, we use DCA for our trade setups, but the reason why I'm sharing this is because there's a lot of good momentum happening. If we look at on-balance volume here for Uniswap, this is great. The fact that on-balance volume is moving up and up and up like that is really strong. It's not overbought at all. If we go to the weekly time frame, this is crazy strong and crazy bullish. The price is above the cloud. The cloud is slowly moving up. I like this a lot, but on a faster time frame, this chart's just crazy good. I'm actually going to hide all this stuff just because I want you to see how ridiculous this is, where there's so much volatility. Look at this, price dropping 45%, and it takes what, 49 days for the price to fully retrace. So that means that 92%, right? Isn't that insane? Crypto is so forgiving. So while this feels brutal, eventually you get closed in profit if you're just patient, because patience pays. I say it all the time. Even the last couple of weeks, all this price action right here, dropping 21%. Actually, let me lock this. Then we're shooting up 21, dropping back down 23, shooting up 29 or 30, dropping down 21. You kind of get the pattern here. It's kind of wild. So Uniswap has been great for trading in general, which has also given me confidence to find this chart and to create a trade setup for it. So understand that it's not for everyone. Like, this kind of volatility is not super duper fun. Honestly, if you know how to bot trade and you're really comfortable with bot trading, I would just focus on that, because bots will do an amazing job with this while you're not having to look at the market or pay attention to what's happening at all. Okay, let me revisit the chat and see. Okay. I'm not sure about the comment about iceberg, if that's actually a ticker. I'd rather just look at tickers like 4 or 5 letters or 3 letters. But I'll look at Arkham. Arkham. Okay. Let me hide these guys because it's just annoying. Okay. So I actually have some Arkham too. And this is one that's just been really unfun to hold for quite a while. So a couple of things. This is, again, I'm not trying to make anyone, I mean, I'm holding this, so actually I don't really care. I can speak my mind. If I were paying attention to all of these TBO close longs, there are lots of them happening right here at resistance. It's telling me the trend could be changing. The trend could be changing. It's not breaking above resistance at 2.729. And then the price, whenever it goes inside of the cloud, is a sign of bearish consolidation. The price goes below. We get our open long, sorry, our open short and our cross down. Now the price is below the cloud. It's a sign that it's strong bearish. However, honestly, this is insane. So the fact of the matter is that on the daily time frame, the low here, that is ridiculous. The low here is 1.460 on yesterday's candle, which closed just a couple hours ago, and TBO support is at 1.460. 1.460. That's insane. So the thing with charts like these, we've already seen this before with Arkham, to be honest. Actually, no, I want to do this. We've already seen the price above the cloud and it drops really far. That's a 60% drop, which is brutal. This drop comparatively is 48%, still brutal. But the last one, over time, did actually return back up. It didn't actually hit where it was before, but with DCA, you would get closed out. And again, same concept applies. If you've DCA'd on the way down, you want to sell half just below your original entry order, so that way you're securing profit, you're de-risking yourself, and then you can let the rest ride. So it doesn't look super duper strong right now because it's below the cloud. However, it has bounced off of the TBO fast line. Looking at RSI, the main things I'm seeing right here is that we got a bullish cross up right there and a bullish cross up right here that literally just happened today. So with that said, the last time we saw this happen was back over here, and it took some time for the price to actually respond positively, but we saw RSI cross up and move up higher. We're seeing the same thing happening right now. So this would actually be a decent area to add some more to my position, which I actually should do after this live stream is done. Okay, let me check the chat again. Nope, I don't see anything else. This is your last chance. I can do another chart request. But so far, everything is looking decent for a pullback on Bitcoin dominance, which means that stablecoin dominance should be moving up. I'm seeing a lot of good signs that we're going to be having a quick, really quick reversal, a relief rally. So if that's the case, we need to be quick to take profits on any bounce that we get. Okay, I got one more. GST, Green Satoshi Token. Okay. So this one broke, oops, wrong double click. Here we go. This one broke our support line here. This one was on the watch list, and it's dropped a lot more. It's frustrating. I've had so many of these kinds of charts where it's like, this is the best place ever to buy. And it goes lower and lower and lower. But it's also normal in crypto. Now, the main thing that has me concerned about the chart is we got 3 of these breakdowns in a row, which isn't a good sign. This is typically telling us that there should be an explosive move to the downside, like severe. But if the market is having the pullback that I'm expecting it to do, GST will too. The first place that GST will hit is going to be the fast line. So at whatever price the fast line is, expect the price as it's going down to hit or wick into this pink line right there. So from the current price up to the fast line is about 25%. So that would be a good place to take some profit if you can, if you're in the profit zone. If not, then you just gotta wait, unfortunately. The other good thing that's happening with this chart on the daily time frame is that RSI is insanely oversold, which is good because the longer it stays oversold, the more people are going to notice it, and the chart's just drooping and dropping, unfortunately, after the mega pump that we saw of 1,000% back here in March. So ever since that's happened, it's just been grueling lower and lower and lower. So volume, nope, not really growing. So it would be nicer to add more down here, but given the fact that this is just a slow grind and we're not seeing a fast drop, it's actually a good sign. Although this kind of grinding lower is never fun, never ever fun. Trust me, I know exactly how this feels with a lot of my BTC pairs. This is how a lot of them look right now. So it's just a matter of time. But the reality is that if a chart like this is pumped before, it will pump again. Let me go over here. Yep. Okay, now we got, okay. Oh, that's right. I forgot that there's a delay. Let me quickly check on here. I got to get the likes up before I look at more of these guys. What is this, YouTube? What? YouTube is being weird. Okay. Let's get the likes up a little bit more. If we can get it up to 30, then I'll look at the rest of those. Then we're going to call it a day because I have other videos that I got to film real quick. But I have to... YouTube is acting up weird right now. So just give me a quick second. You can enjoy the music. Ugh. So annoying. I think I need to make some new music. This music is so old. Yeah, there. Okay. Almost there. Waiting just 2 more. Sorry, we're just jamming out to the music together. Let's see. Okay, there's some good ones here. I'll look at, let's see. I'll do 2 of these. Waiting. Oh, this is like super delayed. Okay. Bring it back down. All right, we're gonna look at 2 more. We're gonna call it a day. We're gonna look at Turbo, which is a recent meme coin, and Ton. So let me go ahead and add it so I don't forget it. We'll look at, actually, can we just do, yeah. And then Ton, we'll do it on, I think OKX would be fine. Okay, so let's look at these guys. So Turbo has been on a turbo run for a long time. This chart's been crazy bullish. Given the fact that we had the major pullback with BTC, it's been a little bit more brutal. But I mean, the chart's also like, I mean, since it broke out here, it shot up, what, 700%? So it's normal for this to happen where we get a pullback. Now, here's something I want you to see. We got a repeat. We see the price coming down. Whenever we go into the cloud, it's a sign of bearish consolidation. And then we get a bounce off of the slow line, another bounce off the slow line. Then we get a break above TBO resistance, and we get a breakout cluster. That's like the perfect storm. And then kaboom, we get a nice big fat rally on that. Now, we're seeing the first TBO close long over here, but when we got a pierce of the cloud right there on June 7th, that was the first sign of weakness. Even though we got a bounce above, which was good, going into the cloud, always a sign of bearish consolidation. So from that point, the price is down about 27% or so. Not that bad. So we have targets of support for Turbo. Well, the main one is actually down here. And I know it's really far and no one wants to think that, but charts like this could just all of a sudden dump. What's going on here? It could dump 70% in a flash crash. We have support with the TBO slow line at about 0.0016 or so, somewhere in there. Like that's where the TBO slow line is. Honestly, it looks like because the chart is so oversold right now, it makes the most sense because I've talked about this before in the live stream. When we get a close long, we're going to see the price quickly snap back up to the TBO fast line. Now, this is the place where we should be taking profit quickly because there's no guarantee that it's going to just shoot all the way up higher. So Turbo is looking pretty amazing, but it's also looking really oversold. It's done this so many times before though. So another target could be here. Right there on the TBO fast line on the weekly. I actually use the weekly time frame a lot with the TBO, so it works extremely well. So having support there or just above there, if we go back over here, right in the middle of the cloud, there's no other level of support other than the TBO fast line. But if you noticed this before, let me get rid of all the circles. Brush. We could see the price doing the exact same thing. Breaks above, wicks into the fast line, wicks into the fast line, pumps off the fast line, wicks, closes just above it, wicks, pumps. So we haven't seen a return to the fast line. So a decent target would be about, I'm gonna say 25 cents, but it's not. It's a fraction of 2.5. But 0.0025 looks like it should be hit, and then there should be another follow-up rally with that. The next one is Ton that was requested. I like Ton. Ton is looking incredibly bullish on the weekly time frame. Now, given the price action of BTC this week, it has been looking that bullish. But the truth is that the TBO is looking good, really good. Looking at the trajectory of the slow line, it's angling up. It's not like going super straight up and to the right, but it's a strong uptrend. All four of these lines are angling up. Actually, let me do this one. So medium slow and medium fast are angling up. And then of course the fast line is angling up too. So this is a super bullish TBO. The price is above the cloud. It's looking really good. We have breakouts on the weekly, which means that it could explode quickly up, or it could take some time to shoot up higher. But we haven't seen a return to the fast line, which is currently at about 556 or so, but it's looking good. On the daily time frame, it is struggling to get above this line of resistance. There was a breakout and it didn't quite hit it. It's back inside the cloud, but that's mainly because BTC has been kind of bearish. So of course we're getting a pullback, but even on the daily time frame, this is still a strong bullish chart. Way better for DCA bots in my opinion, but it's still a strong chart even for intraday trading. Okay. Good. All right. I think that's, there we go. That's better for my ears. Okay. I think that's about it for today. I wanted to share with you one other really awesome thing. Let's see. Now forgive the cropped image. That's just annoying. But the better crypto signals, I just posted a video here on YouTube recently that talks about these signals, talks about the best bot trading signals ever. Like I put $100,000 into these bot signals. They're crazy good, super duper crazy good. The next time I do a live stream, I'm actually going to showcase these signals and show you trades that are actually live that are happening right now. There's a ton of stuff included with the signals, but the main thing that's rad about these signals is that they survived the 2022 bear market in profit with flying colors, beating buy and hold. You can use them for accumulation, for accumulating tokens that you love. You can use it for accumulating more USDT. So that way, when the market flips bullish, well, then you can start buying more of the tokens that you really like. So I would really love for you guys to use these signals. You have to go to thebettertraders.com. The link is down below in the description, and you can check out the signals and sign up to get them in a new signal tier. Awesome. So that's it. Thanks for hanging out. So the main thing to keep in mind is that while things feel shaky right now, Bitcoin could still head down to 60K. I'm not saying that's not going to happen. It seems more likely to happen. So with that in mind, this is why I'm saying a brief, quick relief rally for alts. So if you're trading right now, you want to use DCA, you want to sell half just below your entry point. So that way you're securing profit, you're de-risking yourself. If the price goes up higher, you're selling half on the run and it goes up and up and up. That's great. If not, the price goes down, you can DCA again. And that's basically rinse, repeat until we're out of this cycle. But we could be seeing a bounce from here. It really just depends. But that 61K level, man, I'm pretty sure Bitcoin is going to be heading down there first. So keep that in mind. Don't panic, DCA. And until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.